So I got Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze in 2018 when I got my Switch. I purchased Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, and Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. This was the first game that I beat on the Switch. This was the first game that made me determined to get good at platforming games. For some reason, I was really drawn into this game, and it stands out as it's my favorite like Wii U game. And then it got ported over to the Switch, so now it's my top favorite Switch game. It's not the absolute top, but it's up there, top 5. I've beaten this game probably 10 times. I have it on the Switch Lite, and then I also had it on the regular Switch, like digitally, so I could play it whenever. And I went through and unlocked all of the secret levels and did all of the Kong letters and got the ability to play as all of the characters on my Switch Lite, but I can't capture the footage from that, so I can't really show. But that was a super great time for me to get that game down and dialed in and feel like I was mastering that game. It's such a well-crafted game. It's beautiful, from the audio, the sound effects, their little noises, the talking that they do, the grunts and cute noises that they make, to the soundtrack, which I probably already said. So the soundtrack is amazing. It's ridiculous. It's one of the best video game soundtracks I've ever heard. And there's so much content in this game, because at the time, people were comparing it to Breath of the Wild and Odyssey, saying like, you know, is a platformer worth $60? And I'm pretty sure this game's still $60. Like they never lowered the price. It went on sale a couple times. That's when I got it on the Switch Lite. I wanted it just to be able to play it on the go without having to swap the cartridges out. But I do have the physical version also. So I bought this game at least 3 times. But yeah, I was determined to get good at this platforming game, simply because it seemed like the perfect stepping off point to get good at a platforming game, because it was smooth and really well animated, and they took a lot of time and energy to make this game look polished and fluid. So the better you get, kind of like Crash Bandicoot, the better you get, the more flow you can go in. And when you roll, you can roll, jump, and when you have your other character with you, or if you're playing as Funky Kong, you can roll, jump, and then hover for a little bit to get a little more distance. If you're not with Cranky Kong, because he does the whole Scrooge McDuck jump thing. But yeah, the playable characters, Donkey Kong, Funky Kong, then you get your little partners in the barrels that you can break open, and then they'll come and it'll be Dixie Kong, Diddy Kong, or Cranky Kong. Usually you can select. Sometimes in the levels it's specific to that level, like who you're gonna get. Like they want you to use Cranky Kong to get through. But some of the levels, it'll rotate between all 3 and you can pick which one you want at whatever time. But yeah, the design of this game, from the level designs and the platforming, takes a lot of skill for you to get good. The first time I played through, it took me so long, and I had to play it on Funky Kong mode because there was 3 hearts. You get to be able to get hit 3 times, and I could not go regular Donkey Kong. Like I wanted to be like the hardcore guy with 2 hearts, but it just was not working. So like midway through, I had to switch through and beat it Funky Kong mode, and then I went back later on and I pretty much don't use Funky Kong anymore. The gameplay that I'm playing for this, I used Funky Kong because I'm trying to unlock all of the characters and then do the hard mode when you beat those secret K levels. So then I could use Funky Kong, use Donkey Kong, use Diddy Kong, use Dixie Kong, use Cranky Kong individually whenever I wanted to, because on the Switch, on the Switch Lite that I beat it on, I didn't have the ability to use Funky Kong at that point, because I didn't use him originally in that mode. It's really kind of complicated, but yeah, the level design, the character design, all the enemies, there are a variety of different enemies, variety of different rideable characters, or a variety of different levels. They have the returning, the ones where you ride the barrels. They have the returning ones where you ride the barrels and they're like a rocket. So they have a variety of different levels. You could ride the Rhino, which is really fun to blast through. There's a lot of diversity in levels, and there are a lot of levels in this game. A lot of levels. Like me just going back through and kind of searching through all of the islands that you can go to. Like I was actually really surprised that I forgot about an entire island, like the one where they are making juice or whatever. I like completely forgot about that. I haven't played in over a year, so. But that juice sequence, when they're like making it, the whole level progresses and it shows you how they're like making popsicles and stuff out of the fruits, and it's really it's remarkable and it is memorable. But like it slipped my mind. There's no reason that it shouldn't have been remembered. But yeah, the story is interesting and unique. It's cool to have the tropical freeze aspect of it, where you're basically like, especially towards the end, it's all snow levels, and so it's a change for the Donkey Kong franchise. If they came out with a new one, I would like to be, I don't know, Donkey Kong in outer space or Donkey Kong in the city, something different and interesting. But this one, it doesn't get played out or anything like that, because you're spending a lot of time in various places, the savannah desert, in the jungle, underwater, in an island themed place, and then in the snow place. And then it's a great diversity and great design. The unique animations for the characters and the enemies and the bosses, it's all really well thought out and really well implemented. The specific unique animations for the characters are really cool. Like if you just kind of wait, similar to Crash Bandicoot, if you just kind of wait and don't touch the controller, they'll have like little things that they do, and I'll show it right here. Like Diddy Kong will hop on Donkey Kong's back and they'll pull out a Switch together and play a game for a little bit. So it's nice that they added the little touches like that. It just feels like it has character and it wasn't rushed. It feels like they took time on this game, and that's what drew me to it and made me realize that this game is something that I could play for the rest of my life and enjoy. And it's not too long. There are a ton of levels, but it's not too long, and it doesn't overstay its welcome. It's a great game. So the music, the sound effects, I went through that. They're great. The bosses, the individual bosses, I'll show them, like kind of roll through them right now. Some of them, not all of them, but they're fun and memorable, and they're not too difficult. They're hard the first time when you don't know, so you just keep trying and then keep going through. And they're fun, they stand out. How I like to play this game is try to get all of the Kong letters on that first roll through, unlock the extra levels, and then try to do the hard mode where you can only get hit once, or do the time trial modes where you can, you get as many times as you want. You don't have to worry about lives. So you get as many tries as you want, and you just keep going through trying to master the levels and get comfortable with your favorite ones. It's a treat to play. I love it. There's hidden areas, hidden exits, hidden levels. There's the challenge levels at the end where you go through and there's basically no ground. Like you're just trying to float through. I don't know. It's beautiful. But anyways, this game's amazing. Thanks for tuning in.